There is, Cuba's not contemplating an attack on America. Stop. Don't insult our intelligence. Be honest. Tell us what we're doing. It's just whatever. Okay, so are we planning an attack on them? We don't know.
There you have Megyn Kelly speaking facts about how Cuba does not pose a threat to the United States. Nonetheless, the Trump administration is looking for ways to rationalize yet more regime change military action, this time against Cuba. And the plot is to pretend like we're afraid of their drones, which they claim they don't even have. Before I give you the details, your 2 cents.
Yeah, has Donald Trump lost his effing mind? Are we really gonna attack Cuba? And if we do, how many wars does it take for an anti-war president to win a peace prize? I mean, are you kidding me? Venezuela, then Iran, then Cuba? If any Republican said they were anti-war and is still supporting Donald Trump, well, okay, why don't you admit you're a liar and a hypocrite and totally ridiculous.
You know, no one ever really talks about it other than Dave DeCamp over at antiwar.com. But Trump has really ramped up strikes against Somalia as well.
So he's attacked at least 7 countries already.
He's killed more than 200 people in those little fishing boats in the Caribbean. Those strikes continue to happen, by the way.
By the way, we're doing nothing for the American people. Nothing for the American people. All we're doing is war.
Yeah.
He said Donald Trump, we told you, I've been telling you for a decade, the biggest liar in American history. The guy runs a non-stop anti-war campaign, gets into office, and all he does is war.
Yep. So what could possibly foreshadow likely military action against Cuba better than Trump's favorite rag, Axios, which certainly serves as his stenographer these days. So Mark Caputo over at Axios writes, exclusive, I'm sure it is, US eyes attack drone threat from Cuba. So at that point, the stenographer over at Axios simply regurgitates an intelligence report without even questioning said intelligence report, writing that Cuba has acquired more than 300 military drones and recently began discussing plans to use them to attack the US base at Guantanamo Bay, US military vessels, and possibly Key West, Florida, 90 miles north of Havana, according to classified intelligence shared with Axios. Hey, Mark, have you maybe considered why that intelligence was leaked to you? And why aren't you questioning it? Why are you just simply repeating it as if it's 100% fact?
Oh my God, he got a leak. He's such a good reporter.
Exclusive.
Oh my God, I wrote down what a government official said. I'm such a hero. Are you?
It's amazing. All right. The intelligence, which could become a pretext for US military action, shows the degree to which the Trump administration sees Cuba as a threat because of developments in drone warfare and the presence of Iranian military advisors in Havana. Ooh, you gotta inject some, Iran threat into the mix, right? Ooh, Tehran is involved. In addition, CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to Cuba on Thursday and bluntly warned officials there against engaging in hostilities. He also urged them to scrap their totalitarian government to end crippling US sanctions, a CIA official told Axios. And on Wednesday, the Department of Justice plans to unseal an indictment of Cuba's de facto leader, Raul Castro. He's 94 years old. Raul Castro is 94 years old, for allegedly ordering the 1996 downing of 2 planes flown by a Miami-based aid group called Brothers to the Rescue. So let me get this straight, Cenk. The country that we are starving to death, okay? We're so afraid of them and their drones that we must attack. We must attack.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid of Cuba. I lie awake at night, terrified that any minute they're gonna attack us with their fancy drones. Cuba's a real threat.
You know how many drones they claim to have? 300. Okay, yeah, 300 should. I mean, they're
terrified.
They're gonna take San Antonio any day now. Okay, so like, look at the level of absurdity. For Iran, they had to go back 47 years to find something that Iran did against us. So they're like, remember what they did in 1983? Here, they're like, oh, this one's better. Remember what they did in 1996 and 1896. Okay, remember what we did to them, Bay of Pigs, where we tried to take over their country and attack them when they hadn't attacked us? We can go back and forth a million times. So I think that the line about Iran, and this is total conjecture, is about like the Cuban Americans going, maybe we can get the Israelis to help us start this war if we say Iran is there. Hey, Israelis, Iran is in Havana. We got to go get them. But my guess is that, I mean, look,
this is so
I don't
stupid.
think it's gonna happen, to be honest, and maybe I'm wrong. The reason, but here's why my theory as to why this isn't gonna happen, because Israel doesn't want us to do anything that isn't for them. So they're like, that's a distraction. No, send more troops to us. Who cares, right? So, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Trump is like the biggest warmonger in the world, and he's like, I just want to attack every country I can. And so, and at that point, I'd start to wonder if he really meant it about Greenland, right? And so here's more conjecture, and I am clear when I say fact and when I say conjecture. So he went over to China, and they were looking to see if China was going to say something about Iran, right? And so they didn't want to continue in the war in Iran until he went to China first, right? Mm-hmm. And China comes out of that going, now remember, the most important part of this summit was America cannot help Taiwan militarily. They said it like 3 times. So did they go and China say to them, hey, you do whatever you want in Iran, thinking, hey, you know what? If America wants to destroy itself, fighting Iran for no reason, like Russia did with Ukraine, that's a win for China, okay? Go destroy your military, waste all of your money and treasure, right? But if you do that, we get to take Taiwan, okay? And if we're in Cuba and Venezuela and Iran, you think we can go defend Taiwan? There's 0% chance of that. And the Israelis would never allow it. You know the hardest part of starting TYT? It wasn't being on camera, because I'm pretty, let's be honest. Or trying to figure out this new thing called YouTube. Yeah, sure, that was hard. But one of the hardest things, believe it or not, was launching our merch store, Shop TYT. I didn't know the first thing about starting an online clothing store. But thankfully, I had the best business partner to help me out. That's Shopify. You need a beautiful online store? Shopify's got hundreds of ready-to-use templates that match your brand style. You need to find customers? They make it super easy to run email and social media campaigns wherever people are scrolling online. And what about managing inventory, processing returns, and international shipping? Shopify is your commerce expert. They handle the world-class logistics so you don't have to. Everything from payments to analytics is in one place. No more jumping between platforms. It simplifies your life so you can focus on what you actually started the business to do. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/TYT. Go to shopify.com/TYT. That's shopify.com/TYT.
So I actually want to skip ahead and go to Megyn Kelly's thoughts on this. By the way, I should note that Cuba has already made clear that this is all made up, that they don't have the drones, besides which, if they had 1,000 drones, I wouldn't care. I don't see Cuba as a threat to the United States. I see the United States as a threat to Cuba, and I'll explain why after we watch this clip from Megyn Kelly. Take a look.
Cuba is not about to attack us. These are lies, okay? We can have a good faith debate about whether we want to swoop in and rescue Cuba from the conditions we've helped impose on Cuba. And be really clear-eyed about why we've done what we've done and why we think they need us. But let's please do it honestly. Let's not pretend that Cuba's about to attack us, okay? Like this is an insult to our intelligence. Okay? They literally cannot keep the lights on down there.
I just want to say thank you for using the phrase insult to our intelligence, because that's what I've been feeling about our federal government for years now, okay? I mean, just constantly insulting the intelligence of the American people. We know that Cuba is not a threat to the United States. We know that Cuba is not going to attack the United States. Cuba would be wiped out by the US military if that were to happen. And we've been starving them. Go ahead, Cenk.
So, Anna, I'm sure you didn't mean to say thank you to Megyn Kelly there.
I said thank you to Megyn Kelly because she was spot on in that analysis. What do you mean?
I thought we had to reject all help and all reasonable things, even if she's against the war. If she's against the war in Cuba, it doesn't matter. She's a naughty, so we have to hate her and disagree with her. All right. Anyway, so obviously we're not in that camp. But guys, what Cuba said to the press is, we're trying to defend ourselves. We have even if they have 300 drones, they're like, we're gonna get obliterated, is basically what they're saying between. They literally asked, are we not allowed to defend ourselves?
No, apparently not. apparently
because
not.
America keeps saying we're going to invade you, we're going to attack you, we're going to murder you, right? And they're like, oh, okay, we pieced together 300 drones. We can't make the toilets run, so we put them together with duct tape. And they're like, oh, so you're going to attack us?
Can I just
what? No, you told me you were going to attack me.
Why can't we just either leave Cuba alone, or if you're desperate to engage in business activity with Cuba, a communist country, you could just keep things chill like we did with China. And is China really a communist country at this point, Cenk?
Not really.
No, not really.
Of course not. It's a mixed government, and they got Levi's and McDonald's all over the place.
So Obama opening up a diplomatic relationship with Cuba would have been a far better path than, I don't know, whatever the hell this is. And by the way, we have been starving Cubans to death. And if you don't believe me, take a look at the humanitarian crisis that's been spurred by US policy against Cuba.
These are photos from Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal and her colleague, Congressman Jonathan Jackson's trip to Cuba last month. They're inside a maternity hospital in Havana. And as they describe in a new op-ed for the New York Times, hospital staff members struggle to get to work without fuel for their cars. During blackouts, doctors sometimes have to manually pump ventilators to keep babies alive.
Without enough gas, less than half of Havana's trash trucks are allowed to run. Piles of garbage spill over into the historic streets. And as the sun sets, a now routine darkness takes over, with 10 million people left without light, pitch black streets, and no electricity to cook the little food people are able to find.
We are two older people, both in our 70s, and she's also sick. Our food has spoiled. I'm boiling 3 pieces of chicken to try and save something to eat because the situation is really bad.
Really bad, really bad. We have nothing left. We're doing really bad, and I just want to die so I can get some rest from this country. May God forgive me for speaking like this.
I want nothing more than to feel proud of my country, and I am proud of the people of this country. But knowing that our government causes so much pain and suffering across the globe makes me sick to my stomach. The fact that that Cuban woman would rather die than go through what she's going through right now, thanks to the economic sanctions that have been implemented against Cuba for decades now, breaks my heart. Anyway.
Guys, we know what the right model is, even if we want the same result. So look at what happened in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we bombed them to no end, killed millions of people, and didn't accomplish a damn thing. We got 50,000 of our guys killed, wasted all this money. And then after the war, we're like, oh yeah, why don't we sell you Nikes and McDonald's? And they're like, oh great. And then they became like basically de facto capitalists, and we won. So what are we doing? Just trade with them. That's the obvious answer. We flipped, in a sense, de facto flipped China and Vietnam into being at least mixed economies with tons of capitalism in there. So that's how you win, even if you want them to turn capitalist. So this whole idea of let's starve them to death and then murder them and take over their country is barbaric, it's un-American, and this isn't what the good people of America want. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.